Okay, so I just got back from a cutting area, a tree service stump actually. I don't have my new tripod in yet, so I wasn't able to take any good video. I didn't even try today. I run that 298 just a little bit, and all I gotta say is, wow. It's really, really strong. All I gotta say is, I don't want to say that the 288 is a disappointment, but it's kind of a disappointment and a letdown compared to that 298. I've ran 288s before, and they're okay. They got decent power, decent anti-vibe. Sorry, got a little new puppy in. It's my wife friend's puppy, and I'm watching it since I have today off. And anyway, back to what we were talking about. I didn't think the 288 was near as good as my 394 that has the 395 top end on it, and rightfully so, because it's not even close. 395 has less vibrations, weighs about the same, and it's more displacement. Pull a longer bar, easier. But that 298 on the other hand, I'm having somewhat of a fueling issue. It's either, if I didn't run it very long, maybe a quarter tank of the gas, just to get some fuel run through it. I'm having a fueling issue. I think it's either the fuel line or my diaphragm is just a little bit on the hard side in the carb. Regardless, it'll get probably a carb kit and a fuel line. I already have the fuel line because I don't think the grommet is sealing in the tank. They're the same fuel line as the 288. They have a rubber grommet that seals between the tank and the body of the saw. That 298, when the fuel would stick with it, wow, it's insane. It's nuts. It's way stronger than my 395, and my 395 is no slouch. Like, it's a strong saw. That's why I put a 32 on it, and I don't get it out unless it justifies that bar. But that 298 would blow it right out of the water if I put a clock on it. I will guarantee it. I ran them both today, and granted, the 298 had a 24-inch 84 driver, brand new loop of Oregon, and my 395 was wearing a 32, but the 298 had more chain speed, obviously, because of a shorter bar, but it stayed at a higher RPM even with me pretty much standing on it. And not that my 395 doesn't do that with a 24, but not like that. I would have to take it up to an 8-pin sprocket to get the chain speed I was getting out of that 298 today. Sorry, this little puppy is playing, deciding he wants to play. So I just wanted to give an initial review of what I thought of it. So far, I'm super impressed, and I can't wait to run it against my dad's G288 that he has. He bought a Holtz Pharma clone of a 288, which they're actually pretty close in strength to an OEM 288. They're just as strong or stronger than the, I'll say, higher hour 288s that you typically find, especially in my area. Just because saws that are big saws around here, they don't get a whole lot of use, but when they get that age, they've had use. I mean, the 288's a 30-year-old design, 40-year-old design, probably more like. And I don't want to say that I don't like the 288 because they're good saws. I mean, Dad paid, I think it was $320 for that G288, and it was shipped right to his house. Just the power head, I think, or because he's got a 32X light on it right now, or last I knew. And I run it a little bit in a fairly good sized maple stump, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. But when I run it, it wasn't broken yet, and I've ran OEM 288s, and I was like, all right, this thing will probably wake up a little bit, and it'll probably be as strong as a stock 288. Just because they're a little heavier than personally I would like, and they vibrate a little more, which, like I said, don't get me wrong, for just a stumping saw or a log deck saw, that'd be great. You know, you don't have to deal with any, you're not running it that long, you know, a couple tanks of gas and you're done. And but that 298 does vibrate quite a bit. That's the only area I wish it was a little better in, was the anti-vibe. But again, it's even older than 288. It's 40 years old. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of grandfathered into the I'm supposed to vibrate a little bit, because I'm not by any means a new saw. Neither is a 288, but I think they could have done a lot better with the 288 at Husqvarna, because they made the 2100, and then they made the 298, and then I believe they made the 2101, and then they came out with the 288, which, like I said, don't get me wrong, I like 288s. If I get a chance, I'm going to buy a clone saw, and it'll probably be one of the first saws that I fully assemble. But I thought, wow, this 298 is really strong. Where did they go so wrong on the 288? And I understand they had the 281 first, and it was coming out at the same time as the end of the 2101 run, I believe. I just think they could have done a little better with the 288. That's enough of that rant. That 298 will probably be getting a carb rebuild, a fuel line, and I'm going to take a really good look at the bearings and seals when I put a new piston in it, and if there's any question at all, I'm going to just split it and put bearings and seals in it, because I'm going to have the saw halfway tore down already anyway. So, but my 394, it is coming apart this winter. Split the cases, I mean, because I need to put bar studs in it, and it's pretty much impossible without splitting it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just split it, put bearings and seals in it, because I've already done a top end on that saw, so I'm not worried about that. But I've never done a bottom end on that saw, and I've had it now for 3 or 4 years. About that long, yeah, about 3 years. And I put quite a bit of time on it, not enough to wear a bottom end out, but when I got it, the saw was blown up. So I'm gonna have it apart. Might as well put bearings and seals in it while it's already split. And my 266 SE that I don't remember if you guys have seen on video or not. If you haven't, I have a really, really nice almost pristine 266 SE I got. Needed a piston. And I got it running, and about the 5th tank of gas, it developed an air leak. So it's going to be the same way. I'm going to be doing some bottom ends this year. This winter when I get some time, or this fall if I get caught up on other stuff. I'm not sure where the air leak is. I haven't bothered. I just, as soon as it went lean, I killed it right there, and I haven't started it since. It actually went to my storage unit a couple weeks ago because I don't really have the space right now to have all my saws up here. Out of my probably 40 saws, I've got probably 4 or 5 here, and that's it. I just don't have the room, and I don't have the time to mess with them. One saw that I will be getting out of storage is my 740 Mac. It's one of my original videos on the channel, I think. Messing with it a little bit. I put a carb kit in it, but I didn't clean the carb near well enough, and I knew it at the time, so I am going to order another carb kit because it's got an HL Tillotson on it. And if I don't need it, I don't need it. If I need it, I need it. I need to get that back out of storage and take the carb apart and put it in, at least the aluminum parts, in an ultrasonic cleaner. And then I'll be putting a new needle and seat in it, and probably a new carb kit and a new fuel line, and doing my damnedest to get that saw running. If you don't know, a 740 McCulloch is 99 cc's. So I want to put the 740, the 298, and the 395, and my dad's 288, if he'll let me borrow it, all up against each other with the... I'd like to do at least the same length of bar. The Mac, there's no practical way to switch that over to 3/8. It's a spur sprocket clutch drum, and I don't have any rim drives for those big Macs, and they're kind of hard to come by, so I'm just not even gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna run it as 404, and then when it goes down I'll be looking for a rim drive clutch. But if I can't find one, it's not a big deal. But down the road, when the clutch drum does wear through the spur sprocket, then that's when I will either A, park the saw until I can find parts, or B, I will have already found a rim drive clutch, and I will pull it down and put a rim drive clutch drum in it. I just wanted to stop in and give you guys a little bit of an update. Like I said, I was really rather impressed with that 298 today, running it. Wow. Strong as heck. That's all I gotta say on that. We will see you guys hopefully in a couple days. Bye.